Apple finally released a MagSafe wireless charging pack, but unfortunately, you should not buy one. And even though I ordered 2 of them right away, after some new findings and specifications that are not immediately noticeable, I am fairly certain that I will end up returning both of them and instead using some of these that I have for a number of reasons. Now, like always, I have links down below if you guys want to pick one of these up, but I would recommend just waiting a little bit till I get that, and I'll give you guys all the info that you need, just like I showed off in my ultimate wireless charging pack comparison video, which you guys really enjoyed. But in that video, where there were some really good comments that made a lot of sense. For example, Ellie said that it sounds like none of these are actually MagSafe compatible. They are just chargers with magnets, and that is completely true. They're regular wireless chargers with the alignment magnets, which make them more convenient. And with that, we have a comment about waiting for the official one because of faster charging speeds. And that is the #1 reason why I'm excited for these. And of course, somebody also mentioned waiting for reverse wireless charging to be unlocked. And we'll talk about that in just a bit. Now here on the main page, we have that $100 price tag, which is actually a little bit lower than I expected. I thought it was gonna be $129. But other than that, in some of these pictures that show off the only option being available being white and some rubbery silicone material on the back for good grip, which is awesome, we don't have that much info. The look is very clean, very simplistic. There is no power button, which is actually a really good thing. And it also doesn't show off what port it uses, but scrolling down, we get a little bit more info showing that you do need a lightning port to charge this. And unlike most battery packs, it does not come with the cable in the box. Of course, you have to buy that separately or use one that you already have. Now, there are a couple really great benefits with this one compared to other options, and that is that you'll actually get a notification on your phone as far as the charge capacity, so that is very convenient. And this battery pack will allow reverse wireless charging with your iPhone 12s, and that is a feature that people are waiting for a while, but unfortunately it is only to charge the battery pack itself. Now, another cool feature that you get, which you get with most of these, is that you can use it as a wireless charging base station. So you can plug it in at your desk, set your phone on top, and when you're ready to go, you just pick it up. You don't need a dedicated wireless charger, so it can pass through. That is really cool, and it'll wait till your phone's charged until it charges the internal battery. But with that, you can actually plug in your phone and then it'll charge your phone, and once it's done, it will reverse wirelessly charge the battery pack as well. Now, personally, that is not that exciting to me because if I want a fast charge, I'll plug in my phone, and the only time I'm gonna leave it plugged in that long to charge my phone and then the battery pack is at night. In that case, I might as well just plug the pack in itself. What I really want reverse wireless charging for is for AirPods, and an Apple Watch would be amazing to be able to charge from your iPhone. Other than that info, there is very little details about the charging speed, how much charge you will actually get, or what the capacity is, which Apple did actually state with their previous smart battery case. It will tell you how much of the charge your phone will get from it, and that is a little bit worrisome. But if we go ahead and look into Apple's dedicated page that has extra info, we get a few really important points, and we can also find a page which helps you find the serial number, but there, zoomed in, we actually see the capacity, which is 1,460 milliamp hours. That is super low, but it doesn't tell the whole story. So this one right here that I have is 4,200, this one's 5,000, so 1,460 is low, but the voltage is actually double what you typically have inside your phone or inside of these battery packs that you can buy. That means if we do the math, the actual milliamp hours is about 2920. So that is much better, and that is slightly higher than an iPhone 12 or 12 Pro, lower than the Pro Max, but it is still not as good as these, which have larger batteries. And of course, that 10.8 watt-hour battery rating is just the battery itself. That doesn't account for inefficiencies when you're pulling energy from a battery, or inefficiencies when you're on top top of that, wirelessly charging. Most battery banks that use a cable to charge your phone, they have 80 to 90% efficiency. 90 is very, very good, the best of the best. And then on top of that, you have loss from wireless charging. So most of these MagSafes, when I tested it, their actual efficiency was about 45 to 48% of the rated one. So this one, from a 5,000 milliamp rating, actually gave you about 2,400 that you can get into your phone. Now, I do think that Apple's will be better than 45% efficiency with their better batteries, higher voltage, and the MagSafe. But doing some research, most people say that 70% is probably the high end, and Quinn from Snazzy Labs did some math as well, and that is being optimistic. So if we do the math, that would mean that your iPhone 12 will get roughly a 70% total charge from the power bank. And looking at these other options that I reviewed, this one right here, which is actually the cheapest one, gives you 68%. So even with the extra efficiency, you're not gonna get a full charge. And on an iPhone 12 Pro Max, that might be closer to about a 50% charge only. So that is definitely a bummer. But that wasn't the end of the world. I didn't buy it for how much capacity it had. I bought it because I want fast wireless charging. Most of these third-party options will either give your iPhone 7.5 watts or 5 watts, even though they'll say 15 or 20. That's only for Android phones, and who would buy this for an Android phone? And then that is the rated capacity, whereas I tested what actually goes into your phone after loss. And some of these will do 7 on the better end, some will do 6 that are less efficient, and then this one that's rated 5 actually gave you 3.5. Where MagSafe is more efficient, it can actually give you close to that 15 watts, which is fantastic. But this is where the story really turns for the worst. If we dig into Apple's support page, it says that yes, you can get that really fast 15 watt MagSafe charging, but only if you're plugging a 20 watt or higher cable into it and using it as a wireless charger. If you unplug it when you're on the go, you will only get 5 watts of rated wireless charging. So that comment that said they're waiting for Apple's official one for fast charging, that's exactly what we were waiting for. Unfortunately, that is just not the case. And even if Apple can reach that 5 watts of actual wireless charging instead of 3.5, that is still slower than the 7 that you can get with this hyper power. And we haven't even talked about prices just yet. Now, what does that mean in the real world? Well, in my actual ultimate comparison, we see that 3.5 watts of real charging only gets you 13% after 30 minutes. And then the faster 7.5 that gives you 7 into the phone, which is gonna be better than Apple's, only gives you 23% charge compared to actual MagSafe, the way it should work, which will give you 30% charge in 30 minutes. And even more than that as far as how fast a charge is under 30 minutes. And then after an hour, MagSafe would give you 55%, but you will actually get somewhere between 28 to 35% charge in 1 hour. So that is really, really slow. So not only will you get a low capacity from that battery, the charging speed will be much slower, but it actually gets worse in one more way. Apple decided to stick with Lightning instead of going with USB Type-C, like with most of these third-party options, and that means that you cannot get power out any other way than wirelessly charging, which is much slower, much less efficient, and you have less capacity. With these options right here, you can plug a cable in if you have one, and in that case, you will get more capacity. So this one right here, instead of charging 68% with an iPhone 12, you'll get 100% charge, and it'll also be about 3 times faster to charge compared to wireless charging. So in those scenarios, you can use it as a standard fast wireless charging bank or just regular power bank, unless you need the convenience of not having a cable. And with that, you can plug in an Apple Watch charger, any other lightning cable for AirPods, an Android phone, or anything else, your Bluetooth speaker, and you can get more power. Whereas with Apple's option, you can't do that. It's only for wireless charging, the slow and less efficient way. And then comes in the price point. Apple's costs $100, whereas this guy right here I bought for $28. So this has similar capacity and similar charging speed, more flexibility, and it is about a third of the price, less than a third of the price. And this one right here that has more capacity, this will charge 85%. It'll charge faster. It comes in at $40, and it also has a USB-C output as well. So let me know your thoughts. Of course, we're gonna get these in. I'm gonna be putting them to the test. Hopefully they do better than what they're advertised, but this info is from Apple themselves. It's not from anybody else. So once we test it, I'll do my final review. You guys click that subscribe button above if you guys wanna see that. But for now, if you need to buy something, I'll have links down in the video description to what I recommend, and check out the ultimate wireless charging video right over there. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next video.